All-Ireland Club Finals in hurling and football live on RTE television. This is a competition that has really grown and grown over the 25 years since 1971, and our first winners, Ross Gray of Tipperary in the hurling and East Kerry of well you know where winning the football decider. Today in the hurling, which is coming up in just a few minutes time, we have 6 Mile Bridge against Dunloy. 6 Mile Bridge hoping to set another milestone for Clare Hurling, taking a second All-Ireland title in just a little over 6 months. But Dunloy were here last year, unlucky not to win that match the first day against Burr before losing the replay heavily. They're back again looking for that hurling title. In the football a little bit later on, it'll be Éire Óg of Carlow, a day against Long Rangers of Kerry. Éire Óg, they're still talking about that 93 final and that goal that wasn't a goal at the end of the replay down in Limerick. But Long Rangers also hoping to put Kerry football back on the map again. Two interesting matches in prospect then here at Croke Park, where weather-wise, well, I have to tell you, you can't expect much more, I suppose, for St. Patrick's Day. It's cold, it's raining, there's a breeze driving that rain across the pitch. Hopefully it doesn't affect the play too much. So that's the scene set then. As I said, 6 Mile Bridge from Clare against Dunloy of County Antrim in the first match, the hurling decider. Our match commentator is Ger Canning.
Gormil Mahagod of Vihil. Yes, we're poised and eagerly anticipating this final. Let's start with the team news, and very little has changed in 12 months where Dunloy is concerned. In fact, 14 of this team played in last year's final. Niall McCampbell is the only addition, and he was a sub last time around. Positional switches, however, for fullback Paul Malloy, wing-back Seamus McMullen, his brother Frankie now in midfield, and Tony McGrath, who moves on to the 40. So they're the Ulster champions, poised in a huddle. And the Clare and Munster champions keep faith with the team that got by Sarsfields in their semi-final. This means that captain Ian Mulready remains on the bench because of a thumb injury. Jerry McInerney captains the side and lines up at the full forward line that includes his brother Declan. The chaplains are all brothers. Christy, number 5, John in midfield, David on the wing, and Danny at full forward. So the scene is set then for the 1996 club final. It'll be Dunloy against 6 Mile Bridge. And there's the man who is captaining 6 Mile Bridge this afternoon, known as Magow, scorer of 2 goals and 4 points in the semi-final win over Sarsfields. So that's it. We're looking forward to a wonderful final. Let's hope it is. 2 good matches in prospects. We're back after this. Welcome back to Croke Park on the day of the All-Ireland Club Finals. Jerry McInerney continues to lead 6 Mile Bridge around Croke Park. We haven't the huge crowd that we'd anticipated. I think that's unfortunately because of the weather conditions that prevailed overnight. I'm sure a lot of people were persuaded against travelling. Dunloy coming here hoping to emulate Lochgiel Shamrocks, of course, from 1983 when they beat St. Rhiners from Offaly after a replay, and Dunloy themselves hoping to atone for last year. They were very unlucky the first day against Burr, but in the end it took a Tony McGrath equalising point right at the very end to secure a second day out, and there they conceded 2 very, very early goals to the Leinster champions, who went on to take the title. Now, just a number change here on the 6 Mile Bridge. It doesn't correspond with the match programme, but in fact Noel Early and John Chaplin have switched numbers. They are, as you see on the caption right now, Early will wear a green helmet, he's number 8, and John Chaplin, one of 4 chaplains, wearing number 9. And the Dunloy team as is, we gave them to you earlier. A little bit of confusion there perhaps at midfield. The 2 midfielders, Frankie McMullen and Colin McGuckie, known as Tarby and Cookie respectively, both of them wearing white helmets for the numbers as you have on screen right now. Well, Michael Lester was mentioning the prevailing weather conditions. It's blustery, it's damp as well, and I think it's more or less set for the afternoon. Fairly typical Patrick's Day weather, really. The national flag there indicating that the breeze is swirling across the field from the bay in towards the Nally stand. Referee in charge this afternoon, familiar figure, Dickie Murphy from the Referees Club in County Wexford, and he's supported by Christy Byrne from Wicklow and Evan Moxidna from Dublin, who is linesman this afternoon. So the Artane Boys band moving off, having entertained the crowds, and it's just approaching 2 o'clock and the final underway. And straight away, it is Dunloy who are attempting to get into an early attack. Eamon McKee there with the first chance. Here comes David Fitzgerald. What a great year he's had in the 6 Mile Bridge and Clare colours. Towards Flan Culligan it comes, up towards Danny Chaplin, known as Amakachi. And that's cut out there, cut out very well indeed. Seamus McMullen, known as Mushy. Down towards McKee once again. Mike Toomey there put under pressure. That's Kevin McInerney there. In the end, it's John Chaplin clearing it to this side of the field. That's his brother David. David has switched wings from the very outset here, lobbed in dangerously towards Jerry. And that's a chance, it's a goal! A goal by Danny Chaplin. Oh, right in the first minute. From Dunloy's point of view, it's almost a replica of last year's replay. Stung in the Bridges' first attack. Well, this is how it came. Lovely wrist work here, and Chaplin put it into the corner, and Shane Elliott was well beaten. Nigel Elliott then, the Dunloy team captain, getting it up as far as Eamon McKee. Smallest man on the park, McKee. Ball out there by John O'Connell for the Bridge. Only as far as Nigel Elliott once again, partially blocked. Swept forward there by Martin Conlon. David Chaplin there in a 50-50 ball with Gary O'Kane. Out it comes towards Seamus McMullen. Brother of Frankie the midfielder. Lobbed in invitingly towards the man they call Horse. And that is Gregory O'Kane up there. Been policed well here by Kevin McInerney. Needed the assistance there. Out it comes towards John O'Connell. O'Connell, the victim of a frontal charge there. Not a fair shoulder to shoulder, and John O'Connell fairly well flattened for his troubles. Michael O'Halloran was coming in there to encourage him. This is what happened. He was taking it out, and that's where the unfair shoulder came in. Looking shaken there. Jim Fall, the team trainer, giving him a little G up. A huge occasion for all these players. It'll be David Fitzgerald who will take the free, bringing the stick with the huge boss with him. Unleashing one right in, going for the score himself, and it just goes inches to the left. First wide then for 6 Mile Bridge, but they have the only goal so far. Really unbelievable year for David Fitzgerald. Penalty goal in Thurles. And then, of course, the All-Ireland medal from last September. John O'Connell under the dropping ball there with Tony McGrath towards Jarlath Elliott. A fresh air puck there by Noel Early for the Bridge. The Bridge in the Clare colours this afternoon. John O'Connell saying, take it out of my way there. He's stymied, however. Comes back to midfield, missed completely there by Cookie. That's Colm O'Gockian. And Dunloy just needing a score to settle them down. Pat Hayes dispossessed. Taken back here well by Nigel Elliott. In towards Eamon McKee, batted down by Mike Toomey. And that's Chris Chaplin, known as Rusty. It's scooped into the path there of Jarlath Elliott. He's hooked well by Noel Early. Dangerous situation this for the Bridge. Backs to the wall. The full-back there put under incessant pressure. And in the end, it's the Clare man, Michael O'Halloran, from the county team, who kicks it out at the expense of a 65. The game's first, and that after just 4 minutes play. Well, Dunloy were coming really threatening there, and they just need a score or two to settle them down. Face of Noel Early in there, one of their very experienced players, arguably the Bridge's most consistent player indeed over the last 12 months. So the 65 will be taken by Mushy, Seamus McMullen. He tried one before the match, that sailed over the bar. This is low and to the left towards Ali Elliott, and Ali putting it over the bar. The first point comes for Dunloy off their danger man there, Ali Elliott. So a goal to a point, and nearly 5 minutes gone. And this coming from that 65, hit in there low and away to the left by Seamus McMullen, controlled well by this danger man here, taking it away from Michael O'Halloran. That's a good score. Back line with the action, great catch by Gary O'Kane. He's an uncle, by the way, of Gregory. There's only a year between them, however. Here they come. Jarlath Elliott, stopped there by Christy Chaplin. Back to Jarlath Elliott. A cross caught down there by John O'Connell. Up towards Declan McInerney. Going back there is Sean Mullen. Referee spots the foul. Free to Dunloy. It's going to be Gary O'Kane who'll take it. Ulster Player of the Year a little over 12 months ago. Known as Pappy. They all have nicknames. It's Ali Elliott coming to it. Michael O'Halloran coming to fetch. That's great defending. Batted down very well indeed by Sean Mullen. Noel Early drives it forward for the bridge. Up towards Amakachi. Or Danny Chaplin, as it says on the birth cert. That's Jerry McInerney in there racing with Seamus McMullen. McKee forward. Tony McGrath just about getting an inch or two on it. Charlotte Elliott coming across to try and dispossess Pat Hayes. Christy Chaplin forward. And Hayes and Chaplin almost getting in one another's way. It's O'Connell who gets it forward into the corner towards Declan McInerney. McInerney against Sean McElhatton. Remember, he was man of the match really in the draw match last year. Terrific game. McInerney dangerously in there. And the goalkeeper, Shane Elliott, giving a bit of work here for Sean McElhatton to deal with. 4 Elliots on this Dunloy team this afternoon. Shane in goal, Nigel, the wing forward, they're brothers, and their cousins are Jarlath and Ali. Flann Quilligan waits inside. It'll be John Chaplin to take it. Known as Fletcher. That's always going right. But it's the Bridge who lead by 2 points thanks to that goal in the very first minute, scored by Danny Chaplin. Well, a very low one there, picked up here by David Chaplin. And that was a real scoring chance, and he's missed it. That's 3 chances now gone astray by the Bridge.
Don't go back, yeah? That one came back. That's the one that came back.
Shane Elliott here has been guarding the Dunloy net since he was just 17 years of age. It's touched down by John O'Connell for 6 Mile Bridge, controlled well by Christy Chaplin, but then hitting it into space. The Bridge with the better of the chances so far, but they're not taking too many of them. The new dressing rooms across on the far side of the new stand, used for the first time in this match, and the hurlers had the privilege of getting into the new changing rooms first, and they really are most luxurious, state-of-the-art, a training room right alongside the dressing room with synthetic turf and so on, and netting. Here's John O'Connell. Seamus McMullen back in for Eamon McKee to race after. Won well there by Kevin McInerney. Here's Paul Conlon. Gary O'Kane standing his ground well, trying to link up there and succeeding with Nigel Elliott towards Eamon McKee. Got a vital touch onto that one. Here they come, bearing down on goal there. Colin McGuckian. Ali Elliott in after it. There's a chance, but swept away in the end there. Some very good defending by the fullback, who's Kevin McInerney. McInerney, who's known as Sox, a cousin of Galway 1980 star Niall McInerney. Here's where they were really getting into trouble with Colin McGuckian coming through. The intention was to link up with Ali Elliott. Watch that ball, hung around there for a second, fell unkindly for Elliott, but well controlled by the fullback. The breeze, if anything, against Seamus McMullen. This his second 65. Hit a good deal better and put over the bar. So now just the minimum between the teams. Well, every chance in this club final is having to be fought for very hard indeed. That's Flann Quilligan, didn't get a decent connection on it, however. In towards David Chaplin, couldn't quite hit it. Danny, his brother, coming out to try and make it his. But back there defending, Dunloy with the new fullback, Paul Malloy. Out towards Columbagochian. Ground hurling being employed by Dunloy. Nigel Elliott there, it comes back off a 6 Mile Bridge leg, however. Picked up here by Martin Conlon. Conlon! Oh, that wasn't too far away at all. Useful chance for Martin Conlon coming through on that left-hand side. Martin Conlon indeed is one of those guys pressing to get into the Clare team on the fringe of the panel, just out of the under-21s. Well, there were 3 against 1 there in favour of 6 Mile Bridge, taken by Noel Early, on to John Chaplin, in towards his big brother Danny, runs on towards Jerry McInerney, and again fell a little unkindly for him, controlled well by McCampbell. It's still there, however, for 6 Mile Bridge, and in the end, dispatched over the line by Sean Mullen. That'll be a 65. But you can see just the kind of problems that Jerry McInerney is causing, given half a chance. Just fell unkindly initially for him, and good defending by Neil McCampbell. There was still that chance there until Sean Mullen came across. Free taker is John Chaplin, going for the point himself, but putting it to the left and wide, and that's 5 wides now for 6 Mile Bridge. Very costly misses indeed. Shane Elliott waiting until everybody's in position. Noel Early under the dropping ball. Won there, however, by Frankie McMullen. Pat Hayes holding it up. And the referee seeing some pulling back there. And it's got to be a free in for Dunloy, who can draw level here. A shake of the head by John Chaplin. And it's Gregory O'Kane who comes out for it. There's the infringement. Bit of a dangerous pull there by Chaplin. So Gregory O'Kane, just outside the exclusion zone. That's the line you can see there just in front of him. Should be the equaliser. And he's just about got inside the right-hand post. Not leaving too much room for error, however. So the sides are level. Touched on by Noel Early. One away there in the middle of the field by Frankie McMullen. Charlotte Elliott pursuing it. That's Pat Hayes put under pressure. Comes back to John O'Connell for the bridge, anticipating the shoulder, going for a second one himself, high up in the air. Little lack of control there, needing the assistance and support of Martin Conlon. Conlon dragging it forward. Pitch is very, very heavy indeed after all the rain. That's the team captain for Dunloy, Nigel Elliott. That's one back there by Pat Hayes. It's been ferociously contested. Forward by Mike Toomey, one back here by Tony McGrath. Down towards Gregory O'Kane. Against Kevin McInerney, they're having quite a battle. Christy Chaplin, they wait for it. It's John Chaplin who makes a wonderful contact with it. Forward towards his brother David, who switched back onto the left wing in his switch with Conlon. Here's David Chaplin. Came in the Clare final and scored a match-winning goal towards the very end of that game against Scariff. And he's more or less held his position ever since. Well, Dunloy, with minimum chances so far, are level. And the Bridge to date have had 6 wides and just 1 goal to show for their troubles. John Chaplin back there to try and take it to himself. It's Tony McGrath instead. Down towards the goal where he scored the equaliser last year. Towards Gregory O'Kane. Kevin McInerney back there for the Bridge. The Clare and Munster champions kicked forward into the centre of the field. Here's Flann Quilligan. A move which the Bridge can make at any time if there is a sufficient ball going in past their own 40-yard line, is to bring Jerry McInerney out. Here's Charlotte Elliott. Unseated somewhat by Pat Hayes. Comes back there to Tony McGrath. Good-looking shot. Stopped, however, by David Fitzgerald. The shot not quite having the distance. Flann Quilligan takes it to himself, the centre forward. Forward for Conlon. Good ball inside towards Jerry McInerney. Caught well there, under pressure by Paul Malloy. Great full back play. Out it comes to the middle to Colm O'Gockian. Cookie has it. Didn't hit it as well as he would have wished, but picked up nonetheless by Jarlath Elliott. Bad ball. Won back, however, by Frankie McMullen to Tony McGrath. He missed the last one. Here's another chance, and that's over the bar. That's the lead for Dunloy. After 16 minutes, they've made a wonderful recovery. The Bridge haven't scored since they scored their goal in the first minute, but this was set up by Jarlath Elliott. Touched away well there by Frankie McMullen to set up the centre forward, and McGrath rifled it over the bar, and Dunloy ahead by a point. Well, a Clare Club team, of course, has never won this All-Ireland Club Championship. And as we mentioned earlier, Dunloy hoping to make it a two-time success for County Antrim. John Chaplin, sideline cut. Inside towards Declan McInerney, hasn't too many chances so far. There's a little block on that one. Shane Elliott, Jerry McInerney wasn't picked off the ground. They're appealing inside there. And the referee's whistle has sounded. Well, Shane Elliott was put into real trouble, not least because of the deadness of the ground, because of all the rain that's fallen here. There he was, in trouble. And in the end, he did pick it off the ground. Jerry McInerney was in there appealing. So the goalkeeper in need of attention, and Dr. Johnny Proteus in there to look after him. Well, Jerry has no doubts at all about it. He feels it should be a penalty. Fonzie Kearns there on the left-hand side. The Dunloy players having a concerned look at referee Dickie Murphy, just to see what action he may take. Oh, question, was it hopping or was it not? And certainly Jerry McInerney was in no doubt. He's the team captain this afternoon in the absence of Ian Mulready, who had a thumb injury, and it had to be reset in the last 3 to 4 weeks. So Jerry hoping that he'll be the one to come to take the cup later on. And the cup they're playing for, of course, is the Tommy Moore Cup. So the first lengthy delay in the match. We've played just over 18 minutes. Shane Elliott, who came in to the Dunloy team, taking over from Martin Brogan, gets his stick back, and it's going to be a conventional free 20 metres out. Jerry McInerney, the taker, to tap it over the bar. So the sides are level. So 1-1 to 4 points. Noel Early, wonderfully caught. Maybe that will shake up the Bridge a little bit, because they've been given second best for a fair part of this match. Seamus McMullen coming across, he's left it behind to Danny Chaplin, outside to his brother David. David Chaplin trying to get it away there from Paul Malloy, swinging in the shot. Off the post, it comes down, Jerry McInerney misses it. And again the ball sticking in the ground in the very dead conditions, played out by Sean McElhatton, and that was also very, very dangerous indeed. Pat Hayes leaves it behind him. Eamon McKee knocks it forward. It's Gregory O'Kane who has it. Outside towards Nigel Elliott. Trying to dart inside Christy Chaplin. Low into the corner. And banged away in the end by Mike Toomey. So 10 minutes to go to half-time, not including the minute or so of stoppage time when Shane Elliott was down injured. So Nigel Elliott to try and whip this in from the sideline. He does well. Stopped by Christy Chaplin, pressurised by two Dunloy players. A solo run, making a good 30 yards, but not a very good clearance out of defence. So the pressure right back on the Bridge rearguard. Seamus McMullen, Dr. Pádraig Quinn in the background there, 6 Mile Bridge medical officer. Flan Quilligan leaves it behind, won back however by Christy Chaplin for 6 Mile Bridge. Declan McInerney trying to break it down to his brother Jerry, inside towards Danny Chaplin. David Chaplin has it, here's a goal! Yes! David Chaplin, 21 minutes gone, a second goal for the Bridge. They've gone back in front. The Dunloy defence looking less than certain on a number of occasions now, and Jerry McInerney feeding it in towards Danny Chaplin, out to David, and that was fairly well buried. Well, of course, the Bridge are very much known as a second-half team, so Dunloy will have a lot to do. That's Shane Elliott. Christy Chaplin under the dropping ball. That's certainly given the Bridge an awful lot more confidence. Seamus McMullen. Down towards Gregory O'Kane. Kevin McInerney back there, being assisted by Michael O'Halloran. Seemed to be tripped, certainly went over the legs of Ali Elliott. That's Pat Hayes, just out of the minor ranks, strongly built player. Well, certainly goals coming at vital times in this match, assisting 6 Mile Bridge. This the second, and that put him back in front. So Dunloy behind by 3 points. Nigel Elliott caught in. The Bridge doing well in defence. Comes back, however, by Colin McGuckian. And the referee deciding that ball was thrown by Jarlath Elliott. And Dickey was right alongside Jarlath. So a free out just as Dunloy had been beginning to build up something in front of David Fitzgerald's goal. This is the hand pass again, and the referee decided the ball was thrown, but don't know. David Fitzgerald. Gary O'Kane under it. Again, it's the 6 Mile Bridge players trying to make some inroads. One back there by Seamus McMullen. This is David Chaplin who got that goal just 3 minutes ago. In towards Danny Chaplin, won well. Paul Malloy blocked down by Martin Conlon, comes back however, and the referee says free out. Pressure certainly has been on the Dunloy backs. So Shane Elliott will be the one to take this free. Noel Early. Almost passing it to himself there. There was nobody coming in assistance except Gary O'Kane of Dunloy. Michael O'Halloran. That's nicely forward there by Gregory O'Kane. Over to Eamon McKee. Can he strike for a point here? Bottled up, back to Gregory O'Kane, who gave the pass. McKee wasn't anticipating that one. Still has it, however. Not anymore. John Chaplin, nicely forward towards Flan Quilligan. Keeping it on the ground there was Gary O'Kane. Put under pressure, put in trouble as well. And in the end, it was Sean McElhatton who came to rescue his wing back. A strongly fought club final, this one, as John Chaplin whips it in there towards his brother Danny, broke it down into Jerry McInerney. That's a great goal, the mark of a great striker. One swift action from the wrists, and it's a third goal, and there are 25 minutes gone. Just 4 minutes after their second goal, the Bridge celebrate. A sideline ball by John Chaplin. His brother Danny was in there trying to act as provider, but look at the wrist action here of Jerry McInerney. Bang, way in the corner. That's a terrific goal. David Chaplin coming back, trying to bury Dunloy out of sight even before the end of the first half, and a goal and a point now for David Chaplin, and it's 3-2 to 4 points. Well, this goal in here was a tribute to a wonderful corner forward. Ball knocked on for him, one quick turn, way in the middle. Great goal. So 4 minutes plus some stoppage time to go. Frankie McMullen leaves it behind. Christy Chaplin down towards his brother Danny again. He's really feeling confident in there along with Jerry McInerney, and they really are tearing the heart out of the Dunloy defence. They're getting good possession in there, and they're making it tell. So now a goal and 2 points for Jerry McInerney. Christy Chaplin, the Chaplins as a family are playing wonderfully well out there for the Bridge. Here's Ali Elliott. He's got a bit of space here, he's got a lot of pace, he's got a man over as well. There's the man over, Tony McGrath. They need a goal here, and they've got it. Tony McGrath coming in from the corner. They just couldn't keep it out, and that's a bit more like it for Dunloy. This was the run forward here made by Ali Elliott. They were closing him down inch by inch, but he delivered it into the corner there for Tony McGrath, and David Fitzgerald just couldn't hold on to it. So Ali Elliott, the one who was very much the provider there. It's Flann Quilligan who's down injured, and they're attending to him there. John Nihill on the left-hand side is the manager, Pat Morey the coach, Jim Fall the trainer as well. Well, this was a wonderful run, and he picked out the man in the corner with a clever hand pass eventually down to Tony McGrath, and David Fitzgerald saw it, but he couldn't keep it out. At the other end, it's Sean McElhatton back facing his own end line, appeals all around, and they decide that he carried it out, and it's going to be a 65. Well, Jerry McInerney was there pressurising. A goal and 2 points so far. Half his tally from the club semi-final down in Thurles against Sarsfields. But the whole of the second half still to come. John Chaplin will take this 65. They had 6 wides during the first half, but in the last 15 minutes they really have excelled. That's dropped in there and over the bar. John Chaplin from the 65, enhancing a good position for the Bridge, who lead by 2 goals, 3-4 to 1-4. John O'Connell put under pressure by Tony McGrath. Referee's whistle sounds for a free to Dunloy. Seamus McMullen shaping up to take this one. I'm sure he'll think about the point. It's well within his range. Kevin McInerney back in there minding the Bridge goal. It's dropped it in low instead. Went off a stick there, went off one of the backs. The referee and umpire quite close to it, and the umpire very adamant indeed. So now we're in stoppage time. Martin Conlon has gone back to this right wing here. Sean Mullen bursting forward. Dunloy will not give in without a great fight in the second half. That you can be certain. Indeed, they'll feel that with a couple of more scores, they can be right back in the match once again. Mike Toomey, good ball downfield. Paul Malloy, aware there's a forward ahead of him and behind him. The hand pass out, looking for assistance, getting it there from Seamus McMullen. Mushy carries it out. Good clearance. Mike Toomey racing across for it for 6 Mile Bridge towards Flanquilligan. And Dunloy with a change there. You'll have seen Brian O'Cunning, number 19, who has been introduced, it seems to me, in place of Niall McCampbell. That to be confirmed. McCampbell was certainly having a handful against Jerry McInerney. Well cut up. Tony McGrath, the goal scorer for Dunloy. Kevin McInerney doing well. It's a great clearance by Kevin McInerney down towards Jerry McInerney, his namesake. They're not related, and that's the end of the first half. We've seen a lot of action. The Bridge lead by 2 goals, with goals by David Chaplin, Danny Chaplin in the very first minute, and Jerry McInerney, and Tony McGrath got one late for Dunloy. 2 goals between them here at Croke Park. It's 6 Mile Bridge 3-4, Dunloy 1-4. So they move to the new dressing rooms under the new stand across there. We'll be back with the second half, and of course the football as well to come later on in the afternoon. But the second half of this in a couple of minutes' time. Welcome back to Croke Park. The Artane Boys Band continuing to entertain the crowds here during the half-time break. And of course, if you've joined us late, well, you will no doubt be unaware, but 6 Mile Bridge lead by 2 goals here at half-time in the AIB Club Hurling final against Dunloy. And there they're playing this afternoon for the Tommy Moore Cup. That's in the hurling. And Moore was a legendary figure in hurling circles with Fox and Dublin. Won 2 All-Ireland senior hurling medals and 4 Leinster senior championship medals with the county, as well as 6 Dublin senior hurling souvenirs. Well, the music is sounding good. Let's enjoy some of it. With the music in the background, let's enjoy some of the skills from the first half. Blocking down to begin with. Great catch here. That's Michael O'Halloran, remember, from the first half. And this is Noel Early. Must love that number 8, although it's programmed as number 9. And here we saw Ali Elliott bursting through to set up the Dunloy goal, ably assisted by the man who was in the corner there, and that's Tony McGrath. Good vision to pick him out. And that's Sean Mullen there, really firmly built player. Good clearance downfield. And the control and the determination there of Pat Hayes to take it round a couple of players. And the vision to pick out John Chaplin at the end of all of that. Some of the skills that we've enjoyed during that first half.
Well, with me now here is a more than interested spectator on that first half, Ger Loughnane, the Clare manager. From a 6 Mile Bridge point of view, Ger, 6 points up at half time, but not necessarily playing all that well.
Well, they badly need the 6 points because the wind is very, very strong and the rain is coming down now, so it'll be a very, very competitive second half. And even though the Bridge looked to be running away with it there with five minutes from half time, they're under real pressure now, and it's going to be the first 10 minutes second half is going to be absolutely vital.
Dunloy came into this match, Ger, very, very determined to win this, because after what happened last year, of course.
Well, you could see when both teams came out in the field, both of them were really, really hyped up. And the Bridge got a great start inside the first minute when Danny Chaplin got that goal, but Dunloy came straight back and scored 4 points on the run, and the Bridge were under real trouble, especially when young Elliott came out to midfield and they were playing 3 midfielders and leaving big space behind them. So the Bridge are coping with that very, very well now. And it'll be interesting to see if Dunloy will go back to playing 6 forwards and try and keep it open. But a very, very interesting second half in prospect.
Yeah, what's also interesting is that last year Burr hit them in the replay with 2 goals early in that first half, and Dunloy collapsed. Now they've conceded 3 today, but they're still in there.
Oh yes, and there's no sign of a collapse in Dunloy today. They're really battling it out. They were down 3 goals, they got a goal back, then they got a point back. Now John Chapman's after scoring a great point there from 65, and it's all to play for in the second half. It's very hard to say who'll win the game, but I think the Bridge full forward line definitely have the upper hand, and if Jerry McInerney and Danny Chaplin get enough ball, I think the Bridge will take it.
They're, as we said, 6 points up at half-time. They're playing against the breeze now in this second half. So what will the tactics be, Ger?
Well, their tactic has to be to get the ball into Jerry McInerney and Danny Chaplin as fast as they can. They have their men, they're really rattled, and Jerry McInerney is looking really, really sharp and very, very anxious for the ball. If he gets enough of the ball, the Bridge will win the game.
Can they hold on to it now?
Definitely, I think. Another win for the banner in Prospect, and we hope that the Bridge will hold out. They're playing very, very well with great determination. They couldn't be doing better than they are. If they keep it up in the second half, I think they will win.
Well, there could be more celebrations down in Clare tonight. Ger Loughnane, thank you very much for joining us for the moment. But of course, coming up a little bit later on, it's the football decider between Éire Óg of Carlow and Lown Rangers from Kerry. With news of that, here's Marty Morrissey.
He was making his way back out to officiate on the second half here. Just to confirm that there was a switch in the Dunloy team midway through the half there. Brian O'Connor came back into the full back line, and he's wearing number 19, and he's a replacement for Niall McCampbell. And in spite of the fact that he's Brian Ogue, I think he is the most senior player on the Dunloy 15. There he is, back at right cornerback. He played there last year as well. Both teams now back out. And the breeze is somewhat deceptive, really. If you look at the flags down at ground level, they don't indicate any particular strength. The national flag signals that it's blowing quite across the field. So 3-4 to 1-4 at the start of the second half, and the Bridge in front. 30 minutes to go. Straight away it is Martin Conlon in towards Declan McInerney. Didn't score in the first half. That's a good-looking shot, just to the left. Well, he's augmenting the efforts there of his brother Jerry and Danny Chaplin as well, and they have caused so many problems in front of Shane Elliott's goal. Broken down there by Colm McGauchian. One back here by Seamus McMullen. Nicely forward. The connection there by Mike Toomey with the ball. Dunloy with the sideline cut. And just to confirm that Dunloy indeed are back with a conventional 6 forwards. 3 half forwards, 3 in the inside forward line as we watch Nigel Elliott in towards Eamon McKee, one instead by Christy Chaplin. And Rusty gets it downfield, added to by Jerry McInerney, who seems to have come out to centre half forward. And that's in a switch with Flann Quilligan. Flann Quilligan is now top of the left. Well, that's a switch that worked a treat during the semi-final against Sarsfields. Sean McElhatton's clearance down towards Ali Elliott, bundled off it by Michael O'Halloran. John Chaplin, huge clearance down into the corner towards his brother Danny. One instead here by Paul Malloy. Noel Early can't contain it. It's Nigel Elliott looking for the free, getting it as well. Coming up to take this one will be Gary O'Kane. That's Nigel Elliott. Held back somewhat there by Noel Early. Gary O'Kane lobbing it in towards Gregory, and that's wonderfully stopped on the line by Dave Fitzgerald, back in by Ali Elliott. And in the end, Pat Hayes has to make the clearance. It was uncle to nephew there, Gary to Gregory, and a wonderful save by the goalkeeper. Well, that certainly enlivened the start of this second half. Dropped in brilliantly from uncle to nephew, and that's where Gregory met it, and David Fitzgerald made a wonderful save. That one came back there off Mike Toomey, and in the end cleared by Pat Hayes. John O'Connell pressurised off the ball there by Gregory O'Kane. O'Kane for the Antrim team. Nicely back there. Here they come, Colm McGauchian looking for scores, Dunloy. Still Dunloy trying to press forward. John Chaplin back helping his defence. Chaplin right on the end line. And that'll be a sideline ball. But early indications in the second half that Dunloy are really intent upon making a real fight of it. Dunloy substitutes and mentors. Watch as Frankie McMullen floats it in. Back there is Pat Hayes. shouldered off it by Tony McGrath. And right on the 13-metre line, it's Michael O'Halloran who was trying to come out with it. He was fouled. Free to 6 Mile Bridge. So David Fitzgerald, who's already distinguished himself with a fine save at the start of this second half. Huge one downfield. David Chaplin stopped. Won again by Jerry McInerney, who definitely has switched onto the 40 in a switch with Flann Quilligan. It's got to be Seamus McMullen who'll take the sideline cut. Just 4 minutes into the second half, still 3-4 to 1-4, the Bridge in front. Picked up here by Nigel Elliott. Missed by John O'Connell, won back by Eamon McKee for Dunloy. Across the field it goes towards Colin McGuckian. Touch forward towards Ali Elliott. Vital possession here for Dunloy. They've got a chance here. They've got Charlie Elliott up. They've got Ali Elliott. Ali bearing in, and Ali has scored a goal. A goal and a point for Ali Elliott. Dunloy are back in the hunt. Just a goal in it. It just took them 5 minutes of the second half to get within 3 points of the Bridge. Well, he set up the first goal for Dunloy, for Tony McGrath, and he was involved in a most influential way for number 2. Here he is, piercing his way through the Bridge defence, taking it right in, almost seeing the whites of David Fitzgerald's eyes, who was well beaten. This is anybody's match now. Charlotte Elliott. Across the field it comes towards Gregory O'Kane. Ali Elliott taking it forward, going for another score, blocked this time by Michael O'Halloran. Won back by Charlotte Elliott. And the conditions this afternoon making life very awful for the players, but they're turning in a treat, and Frankie McMullen pumps it over the bar. His first point. Frankie getting Dunloy to within 2 points. This is it again. It was Ali Elliott, so much a target man, such a feature of this Dunloy team. This is the goal after 5 minutes that set them right up again, and now, as you've seen, they're within 2 points of the Bridge. Missed by Seamus McMullen, not so by Brian O'Connell. He lets it behind, however, to Noel Early. Into the centre of the field, Christy Chaplin's waiting for it there. Down into the corner, towards David Chaplin. Paul Molloy comes across, he leaves it there. This is David, and he was fouled, and that's a free from 20 metres out. No question about the body being checked there. Well, I think the thousands who have turned up here, the vast bulk of them are under the Hogan stand here, are certainly enjoying this contest. And he believes that his team are in there with a chance. So Jerry McInerney rolls it up onto the stick and puts it over the bar, and that's a goal and 3 points now for Jerry Mack. And that's the first point of the second half for the Munster champions, so a goal separating the teams once more. They wait for it. Not so John O'Connell, who made his way towards it and left it behind. Forward by Sean Mullen. Michael O'Halloran bats it away. Anywhere will do. Sean Mullen back there contesting with Martin Conlon. Conlon the Clare man. Declan McInerney keeps it moving inside towards Danny Chaplin. Holds it up there, but it's won back by Gary O'Kane, the centre half back. Frankie McMullen. Ground hurling being used well here. Stopped by the fleet-footed Kevin McInerney, who was fouled in the back by Gregory O'Kane. Free out to 6 Mile Bridge. Well, it's a stirring contest between two very famous hurling clubs, and there's where Kevin McInerney got it into the back. No question about the foul on the number 3. David Fitzgerald to take it. Again, he's brought the big stick with him. He makes a huge distance down towards Danny Chaplin. They're in after it, stopped however, and that's going to be a free out. And the Dunloy player is not appreciating a stroke there by Jerry McInerney, which was all in the heat of the contest. All eyes on the ball, all waiting for it. And it wasn't Jerry McInerney, it was Danny Chaplin indeed who committed the foul. Dunloy brought a fresh player in, and the new player they're bringing in is Malachy Molloy, and he's coming on in place of Jarlath Elliott. Meanwhile, in the middle of the field, it's taken there by Gary O'Kane. So Dunloy making a second switch to their ranks. Gregory O'Kane, won well there by Kevin McInerney. He's playing a terrific match at full-back. That's Sean Mullen for Dunloy. In it goes John O'Connell back there, covering for his full-back, who'd moved out of position. Very intelligent play there by John O'Connell. Pressurised the whole time. He's doing well. Stopped in the end there by the substitute Malachy Molloy. Out it comes towards Nigel Elliott. Stopped again by Christy Chaplin. It's a do-or-die situation for players on both teams. Eamon McKee doing well to keep it in play, but lacking assistance up there. Instead, it's Michael O'Halloran, the cornerback, gets it out as far as John O'Connell for the bridge. And the centre half-back drives it downfield. Brian O'Connell, that's wonderful skill. Under pressure, stopped by Flan Quilligan. And the cheers from the Dunloy fans, the cheers from the Bridge fans as well. An engaging contest, this. Seamus McMullen wants to take it. Jerry McInerney, the intenseness indeed on the face there, and the intensity of it all. And there's a switch also in the Bridge team. We'll tell you about it in a second as that ball comes floating in there and caught well under pressure here by Mike Toomey. By his standards, he was below his best in the semi-final, but he's terrific this afternoon. Pat Hayes has just been taken off, and Noel O'Gorman, I think, is the player who's just come in to the Bridge defence. Meanwhile, at the opposite end, it's Paul Molloy. Out into the green open spaces here. Won by Brian O'Connell. Comes forward, and that is Nigel Elliott. Downfield, stopped by Michael O'Halloran, trying to run back there by Tony McGrath. Didn't quite win it, however. Indeed, it's John Chaplin who's got it. Down into the corner, and that'll give them all a little breather. It's been played in a fair old pace. I think the packed thousands here in the Hogan stand have certainly had their money's worth from the first match here. It's John Chaplin. Paul Molloy trying to get the measure there of Danny Chaplin. Stands his ground, does well. Up it goes. Here's Gary O'Kane, he's left it behind. Sean Mullen racing for it with Declan McInerney. Won again here by Seamus McMullen. 12 minutes into the second half, John O'Connell downfield, Seamus McMullen taking it. It's held there somehow by Frankie McMullen. In towards Ali Elliott, that spells danger. Here they come, it's missed by Tony McGrath, the 2 goal scorers. Eamon McKee trying to keep that movement alive, trying to put the Bridge defence under some pressure. Malachy Molloy trying to get it back in there too. Colin McGuckian, 3 against 2. Nigel Elliott, neat pick-off, great dispossession by Martin Conlon. David Chaplin, and he was fouling his man, and it's going to be a free out for Dunloy. Referee has a quick word there, spotting that Seamus McMullen's on the ground injured. So the running repairs there as the mentors come in. Dr. Johnny Proteus in there tending to him, along with Fonzie Kearns, Seamus Elliott and Tom McLean. This is David Chaplin, and coming across there for it was Seamus McMullen. And here's what happened next. An interested party in their backroom team is Mickey Moore, the former Derry manager, who on the first night of training brought along a whole bag full of footballs, and apparently the players had a great night. Seamus McMullen, the taker, lobbed in towards Eamon McKee. Nigel Elliott responding quickly, hooked splendidly and carried into the photographers at the end of all of that, and they've got themselves a 65. It is all for the cause of the little club, what the GAA is really all about. And this is where McKee was blocked down brilliantly there, with Christy Chaplin and with John O'Connell making life incredibly difficult. Just 3 points between the teams, 3-5 to 2-5. The bridge in front. Noel O'Gorman back there, waiting. Seamus McMullen, the taker. That's good, that's over the bar. McMullen's second point from a 65. Smile on the face, why not? 2 between them. And this tie can go either way. We're midway through the second half. Dunloy have recovered after those goals that they were conceding towards the end of the first 30 minutes. And that goal by Tony McGrath before half-time gave them renewed heart, I think, and they came out with great determination. But we're seeing tremendous determination also from the bridge. Declan McInerney's shot. And that's a shot now either side of the post for the second half, or during the second half, by the number 13. Puck out's been taken. Christy Chaplin leaves it behind to Nigel Elliott. He is so influential, pumping it forward once again towards Gregory O'Kane. And Noel O'Gorman in there. O'Gorman, the number 18. Eamon McKee. A nippy corner forward, right on the end line. Swept wide across, going perhaps too far back. Won, however, by Gregory O'Kane, and that's gone wide. That was a good chance. Created for him by Eamon McKee. One he should have taken, no doubt about it. It was McKee who took that ball in along the end line. Seemed to come out just a little bit too much. But this was where Gregory O'Kane turned, faced the post, and that's one they needed. Frankie McMullen leaves it behind to Jerry McInerney, and that's gone wide also. Chances at either end, but little to choose between these teams. Gregory O'Kane. It's won by John O'Connell. Good call here by Seamus McMullen. And the darting, raiding corner forward up towards Ali Elliott. Michael O'Halloran having quite a handful this afternoon against this fellow. The pressure in there from Malachi Malloy. Down towards Danny Chaplin. We saw the best of Danny during the first half, but the ball simply hasn't gone into the inside forward line very much since the break. That's Niall Gilligan, the substitute. Here he comes once again for a 6 Mile Bridge, swept out by Brian O'Connell. Declan McInerney. Well, he's had 3 chances to impress in the second half, and his shooting has really left him down. So just to confirm that it's 6 Mile Bridge 3-5, Dunloy 2-6. In points it's 14 to 12. Collected here by Colin McGauchian. Good ball inside. Michael O'Halloran. Well, Dunloy have switched Gregory O'Kane now out onto the 40 to try and get a bit more possession. It's with Sean Mullen. It's lobbed in there. Tony McGrath now at full forward, and the backs very careful to nurse it harmlessly out over the end line. Well, at this stage in the match, it's about using the possession that comes your way and turning those chances, half chances or otherwise, into scores. 12 months' work is at stake. Is he a happy Clare man? Jerry McInerney. It runs on here for David Chaplin. Fed inside into the corner, and here's a goal chance, and it comes off the goalkeeper Shane Elliott, off the stick of Niall Gilligan. It goes over the bar. Gilligan will take the credit. One of two second-half subs for 6 Mile Bridge, who have a 3-point lead once again. This is where David Chaplin fed that ball on there towards Niall Gilligan. This was a very good save by Shane Elliott, but at the expense of a point. They take it out of the centre somehow. Downfield, an inviting ball. Here comes Danny Chaplin. It's getting very dark. Gilligan again. Great stop, however, by Paul Molloy. Back in again. It's a goal! And it's David Chaplin with a second goal. As in the semi-final, he sweeps for a vital goal in the final quarter. And there are 6 between them. A second goal then for David Chaplin. Here's how it came. That was wonderful stop there by Paul Molloy. But when it came back to David Chaplin, that's how it finished. So Dunloy's best efforts, are they to go unrewarded? Seamus McMullen taking it forward, stopped there by Kevin McInerney, but the referee says, come across here. That's not how to do it. And the referee has the notebook out, and Kevin McInerney has the name taken. This, the goal at the other end. Is this the vital score in the second half that will just take it away from Dunloy? That was followed up there superbly by David Chaplin. The referee has been content with the booking at the other end. The man they call Socks. This was Seamus McMullen carrying it forward, having plenty of support, but the referee says that's not a fair shoulder to shoulder. Well, he's back having done his job. The seconds tick on. Seamus McMullen getting the attention there of Dr. Johnny Protes. Another match, of course, to come here at Croke Park, when we'll have the Éire Óg versus Lown Rangers tie, football tie, due to start at 3:30. And they're watching that, I believe, in Brampton, Ontario, some 30 Carlow men. And this is what they're seeing first, however, the hurling, and that's the unfair challenge. Fonzie Kearns there on the right-hand side. Second time back here as manager on the day of the club final. Disappointment was their lot 12 months ago. I think at this stage they'd be quite content if they could take it into a second day, just as they did last March the 17th. So the second lengthy hold-up in this match, with a hold-up in the first half as well for an injury to Shane Elliott. We were mentioning that the day had got very much darker. By the magic of television, it's a great deal brighter on your screens. And some of the Éire Óg fans from Carlow there will feel that they can atone for 1993 when they take on the Kerry and Munster champions. So McMullen just wondering whether or not he can continue with that bad shoulder injury. I'm sure he'd love to. And the doctor there just asking whether or not he can raise it above his arm or not. And he really is in trouble. Well, he wants to stay on. They've already used up 2 of their subs. It's Gregory O'Kane who takes it, lobs it in, and he puts it wide. And that really is very bad wasted possession. He had a chance from play a little while ago, now from a free, and a reminder of the scoreline, 4-6 to 2-6, 6 between them. And my watch, just about 7.5 minutes left. David Fitzgerald's puck out towards Jerry McInerney. Noel Early. Stopped back there by Paul Molloy once again. Comes to Christy Chaplin. Well, Dunloy needing a score or 2 very, very quickly here. It's Noel Early again, scooping it forward, only as far as Nigel Elliott, who's played much of this game as a third midfielder. And Elliott in there, and the referee says, hold it, hold it, hold it. He's been having a word there with Malachi Molloy. And that again is where Nigel Elliott was trying to take it out. And it really was getting just a little bit out of order. cramp setting in then for Nigel Elliott, who's been running all over Croke Park here, in particular trying to be a major influence alongside Frankie McMullen and Colm McGuckian at midfield. It'll be a throw ball. Tony McGrath on the left-hand side, Noel Early winning it, however. Down it goes towards the unmarked Niall Gilligan. Gilligan for 6 Mile Bridge. Good chance, and he's put it over the bar. Again, Shane Elliott influential in tapping over a Niall Gilligan shot. So now 7 between them, and 6 Mile Bridge look to be on their way to take the All-Ireland Club Championship, bidding to be the first club from County Clare to take the title. That was a great shot and tapped over the bar just in case. The mentors on the far sideline urging on their charges. An extra pep, I think, in the step of the 6 Mile Bridge players. So near to the title. In the year in which Clare won the All-Ireland, they came and won the county, then the Munster. Can they now take the biggest club prize in hurling? Nicely forward by John Chaplin. Noel Early, they have quite a partnership at midfield, but that pass didn't come back as it was supposed to. Instead it's Malachi Malloy, nicely on here towards Liam Richmond. Richmond a sub in the second half here, a third sub indeed for Dunloy. Tack still alive. John O'Connell head down there trying to patrol it out, supported there by Noel O'Gorman. Out it comes to John Chaplin. 5 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Great catch by Brian O'Conning. 2 against 1 there, the one being Jerry McInerney. He did well into the corner towards David Chaplin. Getting by Paul Malloy, swinging it in and putting it over the bar. Or is it? No, from this angle here, it certainly looked to be on its way. It doesn't count, however. So that's the scoreline, and David Chaplin the scorer of 2 goals and a point out of that tally. It's won back by Noel Early. The marking now a bit poor from Dunloy's point of view around the half-back line. That's Gilligan in there, pressurising, and there's a goal! And it's Declan McInerney. They finish in style. The goals have simply rained in. 4 minutes to go, and there are 10 points between the teams. A little unfair perhaps to Dunloy's effort. It doesn't reflect what they contributed throughout this match. But at vital times now, the Bridge have come forward and taken their scores. This the latest one, right into the corner, off the stick of Declan McInerney. So 5-7 to 2-6. Well, this goal here could certainly have put it well and truly beyond the reach of Dunloy. Back it came from Gilligan to Declan McInerney. Wonderful rising shot. Nothing really went right from earlier on when he was taking his attempted point chances, but at a critical score. John O'Connell head down again in determined fashion, knocked back by Frankie McMullen. Here's Eamon McKee. Gregory O'Kane, they've got a man over, they don't need it, and it's a great save, and the ball's gone wide. Oh, that was a great chance, falling to Gregory O'Kane. He opted to boot it in. David Fitzgerald made a fine save, and they had a man in support, but they couldn't get the goal that this attack deserved. That's where we saw some wonderful goalkeeping. Oh, what a year. What a great last 12 months he's had. I think the only disappointment really was playing in the National League final in Thurles at the beginning of May. Then he went on to play in the Munster final and scored a goal in that. And John Nihill there making a change, and Ian Mulready is coming in, the team captain, to share in the honours. He's coming in the full forward line. It's a nice gesture by the Clare mentors to honour a player who led them in the Munster campaign and but for injury would have been part of their team. Brian O'Conning bottled up in there. Martin Coughlin's shot stopped by Shane Elliott, And foul as he was on his way out. Free to Dunloy. Well, it's a day which the 6 Mile Bridge players and their followers will never forget. The day the goals rained in on hapless Dunloy. But here they come, Sean Mullen. Well, they were waiting for it, and Kevin McInerney doesn't need that kind of time. He epitomises, I think, the spirit in this 6 Mile Bridge team. He's been absolutely wonderful. That's Ian Mulready. That's John Chaplin, and that's gone over the bar from the middle of the field. From a fine athlete, the score of 2 points, 5-8 to 2-6, 11 points the margin, and a minute to go. Well, the Bridge, who led by 6 points at half-time, took a while to get going during the second half. But then those goals, round about the middle of the half and into the fourth quarter, they certainly have sealed Dunloy's fate, or so it would seem. Referee taking the name there of Colin McGuckian. All quite academic at this stage. Great disappointment, I'm sure, on the faces over there of the subs beyond John Chaplin. The Dunloy team who've come for the 2nd year in a row and have failed in their quest. Can they come back? Perhaps next year. John Chaplin makes it a 3rd point. 1 from a 65, 1 from a free, 1 from play, and double scores. Christy Chaplin, we said that 6 Mile Bridge were very much a second half team. Since narrowly edging out Scariff in the Clare final, they've won all the matches after that by handsome margins. As we watch a chance here, fall to Tony McGrath. Oh, it was well set up for him there by Liam Richmond. They've missed too many chances. And the smile on the face of David Fitzgerald. All his Christmas is coming. Almost in the one afternoon. Well into injury time now. Jerry McInerney has it. Partial block there by Sean Mullen. This is Niall Gilligan. What a dream forward sub to be able to bring on. 3 points now for the number 17. And it's 25 points to 12. In the end, no real doubt about the quality of 6 Mile Bridge. Undoubtedly the top hurling team, club team that is, in the country, and they've won the AIB Club Championship for the first time in their history. It's the first time ever that the cup, the Tommy Moore Cup, will go back to Clare. Ian Mulready there, who would have hoped to have gone up and received it. We'll see who goes up to pick up the cup, because Jerry McInerney was the captain this afternoon, and they won by 5-10 to 2-6. So a splendid victory. Danny Chaplin put them on their way in the very first minute. A wonderful wrist action, and he tapped it away to the corner. Christy Chaplin there dancing with Ian Mulready. And it'll be the Bridges' turn to come across here, just like Burr last year. You remember Burr had a handsome group of players from the Offaly panel of the previous year who had won the Liam McCarthy Cup. Well, it's happened now for 6 Mile Bridge, with people like David Fitzgerald and Michael O'Halloran from the actual Clare 15 itself, and a couple of chaplains as well who were in the extended panel. John O'Connell played his heart out. And the trophy then that they're coming to claim, which is the cup we mentioned a little while ago, it's the Tommy Moore Cup. And a little while from now they'll be contesting the Andy Merrigan Cup, and that for the All-Ireland Club Football decider. Well, the Bridge players a little reluctant to come across to take their prize, but they showed absolutely no reluctance when it came to the little matter of winning the tie during the second half. I think the final margin is unkind to Dunloy. They contributed an awful lot more than a 13-point beating would suggest. There's Mickey Moran in the background there in the blue top, former Derry manager. It's so tough to come back for the second year in a row, reach the final and lose it once again. But the Bridge, well, they'll celebrate tonight, and I'm sure tomorrow on the bank holiday as well.
Casting 1, 2, 3.
A great occasion for families with the 4 chaplains involved, the 2 McInernys as well. And what about the performance of Kevin McInerney at full back this afternoon? He was absolutely brilliant.
Will the Clare captain please come for the presentation of the trophy? Jerry McInerney,
Well,
please come
we're looking
forward.
once again here at Colin McGuckie and Rading and Ali Elliott, some of the great skills that we've enjoyed from this first match on the double bill. This is where he came within a yard or so of David Fitzgerald's goal to score. That was the moment when they should have really built upon that position. They were within 2 points at one stage there, missed some chances. That's Brian O'Connor came on and played well. Great catch under pressure there by Mike Toomey. This is where Paul Malloy made a wonderful clearance downfield. But we saw some of the great skills of hurling this afternoon. How about that for a super save by the goalkeeper? But it should have been a goal in the follow-up. And then Niall Gilligan entered into it and set up this chance here for Declan McInerney, and that, as they say, was that. So it looks like it's Ian Mulready who's coming up to claim the trophy. A nice touch there by Jerry McInerney, who was captain on the field today and captain the semi-final. But Ian has come up to receive the cup from Oakthorne Common Luke Glasgow once the mic works, and I'm sure it will, and Jack Guzman.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've seen a great game of hurling, a fitting game for our national holiday. Congratulations to both teams on a great sport display, and special congratulations to 6 Mile Bridge, who This has been Clare's year, and they're finishing off on a high note. But don't let us forget the gallant Dunloy, who came here last year, so very nearly received the victor spoils, but were beaten in a replay. They came back today and are worthy representatives of Ulster hurling. I want to thank AIB for the generous sponsorship of this club championship throughout the year. I have Mr. Hugh Cawley standing beside me, and he will present a man of the match award when we have finished giving the trophy to Ian Mulready. So let's in to Osborne and Curtinshaw, a brother and captain Ian Mulready.
Well, he played his part when they won the Clare Championship and the Munster Championship, and now he comes to take the cup. A wonderful day for Ian Mulready, for these fans here and the players of 6 Mile Bridge, Clare, Munster and All-Ireland Club champions.
It's been one marvellous year for Clare hurling, and an even better one for Bridge hurling. This is our second All-Ireland in 6 months, in 1 year. We have proved, Clare have proved, we can compete with the best, take them on and beat them, and that's what we're doing. Don't lie the same way, known as a weaker county, the same as Clare were a couple of years ago. They're doing the same thing. There's a few people I'd like to thank. First of all, our sponsor, Dominic Murphy. He has put an awful amount of work into this team, and without him, we couldn't get here. Dominic Murphy, thank you. I'd like to thank our team doctor, Dr. Paulie Quinn. He works very hard, night after night. He's after us, he's rubbing us. He's great work done for the club. Here's Paulie Quinn. I'd like to thank our mentors, our selector, Mick O'Shea, our trainer, Pat Morey, our manager, John Niall, but the man that I think is the backbone of this team, Jim Ford.
also like to thank our masseurs, Martin Murray and Annette Shanahan, for everything they have done for us. And Denmark also. I'd like to say to Dunloy, not to be disheartened. They are a great team, and they will be back. 3 cheers for Dunloy. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip!
It was a bridge too far for Dunloy this afternoon. The Bridge take the title, the football to come, and that's after this break.
On a day certainly when the Clare roller coaster seems just to continue on. 2 All-Ireland titles in 6 months, and no doubt the Banner County will rejoice for 6 Mile Bridge, a fine club. And just to our right of that particular shot, you can see the champions of Kerry, the champions of Munster, Lown Rangers, are back.